Tuck and Tuck Show.
All right, welcome to the Tuck and Tuck Show. We're here with a special episode with a comedian and military veteran,
Robert Alexander.
Right,
Robert Alexander.
Alexander the comic.
From Lorain, Oberlin?
Originally, man, I've been in Oberlin about 10 years, but originally from Cleveland.
Oh, okay. All right. So how did you get into this comedian thing, man?
Oh, man, I think I had a funny family. You know, my grandfather was always cracking jokes, and it kind of stuck, you know. I come up in that age where politically correct didn't exist.
Exactly.
You know, and I literally came up with the black man, white man, Chinese man jokes. You know, I mean, I still have them in my head now. You can't really tell them except in certain crowds.
Okay.
But that's where it started, you know, and I went through the service, and I was just, you know, the clown in the platoon or the squad. I always used to crack jokes against the first sergeant, you know, just to let him know I wasn't scared, you know.
Okay.
And then once I got out of the service, you figure like 88, 89, because I went in, technically, my military career started in 79. They had a JROTC at high school. Mm-hmm. So that was like 4 years. And then when I got out of high school, boom, I knew I was going to the service. Okay. And then once I got about 88, 89, I went to the comedy club. First time I had ever been to a comedy club. And I liked it, had a good time. And it was like, I got a lot in common with these guys. And there was a flyer up for Mike Veneman, Comedy 101. I took his workshop. And boom, man, I was off and running.
Heard that audience clapping one time and got hooked.
Oh, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. And you get to help people, man, in such a different way, you know, because there have been times, one time I used to host an open mic night at the Robin's Nest in Cleveland. And a lady came in, and she was just kind of by herself, a little somber, you know. And I always made it a point, since I was hosting the event, I always made it a point to interact with people before the show, just to get a feel, you know, get them to be a little bit more comfortable and relaxed during the show. Mm-hmm. And she was a little somber, and I just, you know, I didn't push it. But then after the show, or during the show, she got some good laughs. I mean, you could really see her having a good time. And then she told me after the show that she had lost her husband of 40 years, like maybe month and a half before. Okay. And she said a friend of hers told her, no, go down to the Robin's Nest and see the show. Just go down there, see the show. I guarantee you'll feel better. And she came down, she saw the show, she had a good time, and afterwards she told me about her husband, and she said she hadn't laughed since a good time before her husband passed, because she saw it coming. And things like that, man, I carry it with me. You know, because one time I was doing a show in Dayton on Valentine's Day. I was opening for George Wallace, and I'm an interactive comic. And it was Valentine's Day. George Wallace was the headliner. I'm suited up. I'm really geared for this show, right? And there was this couple sitting right up front. You know, of course, they sitting right up front. I asked, oh, y'all on a date? And then I find out through talking with the guy and the lady that they had been married and divorced, but they was hanging out on Valentine's Day. You give a present, right? Give a present like that to a comic. I'm sorry, I'm off and running, right?
Exactly.
And I get to asking him questions. Now, mind you, I'm asking these questions with the anticipation that he's going to say no. I'm asking questions. All I'm looking for is a no, so I can move on, right? I knew where I wanted to go. I said, oh, man, so y'all gonna get back together? Looking for a no. Right. He said, yeah. Oh, okay, man. So, y'all gonna hang out later tonight after the show? I'm looking forward to know. He's like, yeah. I said, all right, I'm gonna push it all the way now because I'm at the 2 questions down.
Right.
Exactly.
And the magic number is 3. I want to do 1, 2, 3, boom, hit the joke and move on, right? I hit him again. I said, oh man, so y'all gonna get back together? He's like, yes. I'm like, look, once again, looking for a no, right? I said, all right, I'm gonna push it all the way now. I said, what, man? You gonna propose to her again? And I'm looking for a no. He said, yes. I'm like, all right, let's go all the way with this. I said, you want to propose to her now? And he said, yes. I checked with the club. I said, hey, can I give him the microphone? Because you just don't give up the microphone, right? I said, can I give up the microphone so he can propose to his wife in front of this room full of people during this George Wallace show? She said, yes. I'm like, I can't get a no for nothing. I'm like, I wanted to go out in the crowd and just start harassing women because it seemed like I couldn't get a no,
They took your whole showtime up.
Hey, no, man, he did it real quick, and it was, she said yes, and the crowd went wild, blah, 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 and then I got the mic back, and I said, I'm just going to keep this show moving. I ain't asking nobody no more questions tonight, But it's like, things like that just stuck with me, because, comedy is hard. I don't care what nobody say. You can have fun. It's great. I've been doing this since, like I said, late 80s. But, whoo, man, there's been some downtime and some ugly time.
Oh, you can get a dead crowd, man, and you can't do nothing about it except sit out there and finish your show.
Just roll. You just push through. You just push through, and sometimes you get lucky.
Right.
So now, you was in the Army. How much trouble did you get in the Army?
A lot.
I know that's right.
A lot. Okay, a lot. Because, like I said, I had a little bit of a head start. 4 years of high school and being in JROTC, I learned the language, and how the whole mentality of it is. Because in the military, it's an aggressive, abrasive language, period. At least when I went through. I went to Fort Knox, Kentucky in the summer of 83, and there were several drill sergeants that weren't, say, friendly. They really didn't. Their true colors showed, and their colors were of the Confederate flag nature. I'll put it like that, But you just learn how to. There's a fine line between disrespect and being respectful, because you could dog a superior, but if you threw in their rank or their title at the end, you could get away with it. So a lot of times I would mess with the first sergeant just because I could. He was a brother, and most of them, oddly enough, I gotta think, most of my first sergeants were brothers, come to think about it. But you could mess with him, man. You could play with him, man. Granted, if you get a good one off on him, he gonna drop you and make you do some push-ups, But if you, like I said, through high school, I was already doing push-ups for those 4 years, so I had a good cushion of push-ups that I could do without effort. You drop and give me 50. Bang! There you go. That enough? You want me to do some more drill, sergeant? You want me to do some more? I was that kind of guy. You drop me, I ain't gonna get mad. I'm gonna crack a joke. While I'm doing my push-ups, the platoon is laughing, and it just kind of evolved that way,
Right.
It was a good experience. I like to look back and think it was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life.
Going to the military.
Yeah, man. Because now, I got medical.
I know that's right.
I'm sorry, man.
You got benefits.
I ain't got to go to CVS to get my pills. They get mailed to the house.
Exactly.
I need to go to the doctor. Hey, they come pick me up.
Exactly.
Okay? Take me. I can go to, what's the one? Not Sheffield, but Sheffield. I can go to Sheffield. I was at Wade Park in Cleveland Wednesday. They come get me, took me to Cleveland, and waited for me after my appointment and brought me back. Man, what am I got to complain about? Granted, I've ran into a few people that were not pleasant, but I know who to complain to.
Okay.
So.
You use your VA loan?
See, man, why you had to bring that up, man? That ain't what we talking about right now, man. We're talking about the positive aspects of it.
All right, we'll leave it alone.
Yeah,
then.
we don't leave that alone. The whole GI Bill.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. You didn't get all your
It
benefits.
was still the best decision I ever made in my life, I feel, even at this particular uncomfortable time. Okay.
Now you mentioned earlier you worked with George Wallace. What
Yeah.
other like big names that we might know that have you worked with?
Oh, man. Bobcat Goldthwait, Bobby Collins, Sinbad, Rudy Ray Moore.
Really?
Yeah,
Dolomite.
Toward the end, man. When
Man.
I was at the Robin's Nest, man, we talking about like the early, mid-2000s. When Rudy Ray Moore came to this area, because he's got a daughter in Akron. So around Thanksgiving time, matter of fact, around this time of year, around Thanksgiving, he would come and he would hit like Cleveland, Akron, Lorain, I think maybe Illyria's, a few spots right around this area he would hit. When he got into Ohio, my phone rang,
Okay.
because one time he came to the Robin's Nest and they did a contest to see who was going to get to open for Rudy Ray Moore. I was hosting the show. I didn't even think I was in contention because I was hosting the show. And everybody went through, and it was like all these comics was trying to outcuss Rudy Ray Moore. Really.
Right.
And it's like, you ain't going to outcuss the master.
The master,
no,
the inventor.
And there were like maybe, had to be more than a dozen comics trying to get in to, get their spot, right? At the end of it, he picked me. It was this one girl. Her name was Tracy Likes. Yeah, Tracy Likes. And another comic named Rufus, the Music Man Malone, and me. I'm like, I didn't even think I was in the contest. He said, no, y'all were the only three that didn't try to outcuss me. He said, you came up, you hosted the show. He said, you never mentioned me. He said, you did your material, you did the little segues in between, you filled in with a few spots with a little quick side jokes. He said, no, I want you to host, and I want them two to open. Cool. And every time he came in this area, my phone rang, man. When he died, I cried like a baby, man, because it hurt, because he was older. He was a lot older.
He passed away in a nursing home in Akron, I believe.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think he died in a nursing home in Akron.
I think you're right. Yeah, because I remember seeing it in the newspaper. Right. Nobody called and told me.
Right.
But I saw it in the newspaper, and it really didn't go into great details. Yeah. And the one guy who I could have called, I couldn't reach him, and it was like, it hurt. But, I still got my man here gave me a T-shirt. I still got my Rudy Ray Moore T-shirt. It was a black T-shirt with white letters. It had his picture on it. He had the white hat and a little white suit, and it said, Rudy Ray Moore, hip shaking Papa.
That was it.
Yeah, hip shaking Papa, and it had his signature on it.
Don't wear it, man.
I love it.
I have worn it. It ain't brand new. I had to wear it because, it was a story. I get on stage. That was like my cred right there, But, let me see. Who else? Bobby Collins. Man, there's somebody I'm forgetting.
Yeah, because you mentioned Sinbad, and I know he was, during the 80s, he was real big.
Oh, man, Sinbad came to Hilarities. Yeah, Hilarities. And it was one of those, sometimes as a comic, you're really just a troll or a parasite, really. Because you go to a comedy club, there are comics hanging around that ain't on the show, and just in case somebody don't show up or somebody gets sick and they need a comic to fill in, I'm here, right. I'll do it. And somebody didn't show up, and I can't remember the reason why. Somebody didn't show up, and I got a chance to open for him. And he's a cool brother. He's not what you expect when he's not on stage.
Most comics probably aren't, though.
I mean, but yeah,
he's pretty much the same.
We talking about night and day.
Oh.
Okay, who he is on stage is who he is on stage. When he ain't on stage, Sinbad is somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now I'm not saying that to be like a bad thing.
Right.
It's just that I've seen a few things, and he's a different kind of brother. He's real. He's really a real brother, and he is genuine. I don't want to make it seem like it's anything negative or seem disparaging, but he can get right down to the point. I mean, he's a big light-skinned brother that does clean shows, but there is a dark side. You know, I seen somebody tick the brother off, and man, you do not want to be on the receiving end of that, you know. Let me see. It seems like there's somebody else I should be saying, and it's just not coming to me right now. All the pressure being on the Talk show.
You'll be all right.
You're doing great.
I mean,
You're doing great.
So, speaking of shows, your show was on November 11th?
November 11th, Veterans Day. Man, whew. All right, I'm going to try to jam this. It's a little long story, but I'm going to make it real quick and short.
We got time.
Okay.
You seen this good dude coming up after you, ain't?
Hey, we ain't using none of my time for that, brother.
All right, man. He about to get up here.
He was already in on the other segment all the way at the top of the stairs, you know. But no, the last show I did, because usually, like I said, comedy is rough, and I become what they would call an independent comic. I do my own shows,
right?
You know, because there was a time, especially like before COVID, there was a little bit of action, but then COVID hit, and it was like the slate just got wiped clean. After COVID, everybody had to pretty much start over again, back to square one, which is almost too dominant in comedy. You know, you can roll, get some things going, club shut down, and that throws you off, because to be a working comic, you got to be able to book at least 38 weeks a year, you know, at least to be able to leave your job and still be making money to do it, you know, and to get to that point.
That's tough.
The average life expectancy for a comic to be able to make that transition is about 10 years. And then after 10 years, that's when you really start to figure out who you are on stage. Last show I did was December 2nd last year. It was in Elyria at a place called the Picture Perfect Party Center. I was supposed to do a show in February. We was going to skip January because I wanted to be able to do a string of shows. I don't want to just do a show and then wait another season and do another one. I want to be able to hit one every month just to be able to get it going, because in this area, I felt like if anybody in this area wants to go to a comedy show, there are a few people that are doing little odd shows here and there, but I want to be able to have something that you could count on every month. And I did that show, skipped January, just because I only did the one in December, and then the follow through with January after Christmas and New Year's. Pockets are tight, you know, and I wanted to provide this area with the opportunity to be able to go and see a good comedy show without having to go all the way to Cleveland or Youngstown or Dayton. You know, this way you can be right here in the neighborhood where you know where all the cops is and all that good stuff. That way, if you gotta do that one-eyed drive home, you ain't in new territory. You know, you at home.
Get back home.
Yeah, you know. But here's the strange part. When I did that show back in December, and I've been looking and looking and looking and looking, you got to find the right spot. There's a few places I could have got that just weren't cool. You know, just some things. Like, I wanted to do a show at Mill on Main, but it would have been a BYOB. And the brother and the comic in me just had a problem doing a BYOB right next door to the police station.
I was going to say, you right next to the cops, man.
You know, I'm like, right.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, because I hate for somebody to come out, have a good time, and then the cops come. They ain't even got to bring the car. You know, they walk out the front, and you ain't even, you be locked up, and you ain't even got to ride. They going to make you walk to the police station, you know. And I didn't want to be responsible for that. And I was like, no, I can't do it. I wanted to. It's a nice room, you know, could have set it up
It is a
right.
nice room.
Yeah, and it was just like, BYOB right next to the police station. That little voice, that little first mind, that first mind.
Something clicked.
That's a setup, for sure.
Because you know how you had like the angel and the demon
on one shoulder.
You know, they both would look at me like, really? Really? Oh, you gonna do really? You know, even the angel was like, no, I don't think that'd be a good idea, Robert. No.
But see, this is how you got to do it. If you do a show down there, what you do is you call in a robbery or something on the other side of town. Like, all right,
See,
let's get out of here.
Oh,
Everybody
God.
You trying to get me to commit another crime? You want me to commit
God.
another crime? I'm like, see, if somebody
I ain't
got
saying
picked-
for you to call, have somebody else call it in.
Nah, see, that ain't what you said. That ain't play the tape back. Play the tape back. That ain't what you said. That ain't what you said. But now just, I try to make it as if I'm the one buying the ticket.
Okay.
And because I used to do shows at Black River.
Okay, I didn't even.
Before COVID.
Okay.
I did like 5 at Black River before COVID, And then COVID hit, of course, bloop, that blew everything up, I did one at Broadway Mary's in Lorain during the Firefish Festival 2 years ago, but then her roof started leaking, and then after,
Jeez.
I mean, businesses are taking a hit, just in general, and then the supply chain shortages, everything's going up. It's hard for folks, and to be able to provide a spot where people can come out and laugh during all of this, I feel like it's real important, because I watched a few of your shows. I only watched 3. I watched 3. I had Cass Hilliard for the art fair.
Yeah.
Can we all agree that my painting was beautiful? Yes. I might not be the most funny one here, but that painting rocked.
I didn't really see it. It really didn't show it. It ain't like they did a close up on it. It ain't like he walked up to
Come
the camera.
on.
It was a day.
Come on.
I'm being honest. I really didn't see it.
I appreciate that, though.
And then the one with Dave Rivera
Right.
from the radio station. Y'all got to give me his number. I got to get in touch with him. Okay. And the one with the football dude that did the camps. The football-
Jason
Moore.
Yeah, Jason Moore.
Yeah.
Look at she grinning just like she was.
I
then
love
in the show.
Jason.
It was very clear.
Yeah.
It was very clear. Okay, it was very clear.
Jason.
You were just
Sorry.
sitting here, I love you, Jason.
I love Jason. That's
love
my
you, Jason.
friend.
You're so cute. You're so
Oh,
happy. You're so
whatever.
talented. I was like, dang, it's getting deep, boy. I'm like, Chuck and Tuck needs some boots, boy.
Yeah.
She would love
I
it,
love Jason.
It was very
I had to
clear.
tell her, like, it's only 8-minute segment. We got to get to
Whatever.
the question.
Whatever.
Yeah, but to be able to do something in this area, it's crazy.
So where's your show?
It is going to be. It is going to be November 11th at the Mad Factory Theater in Lorain.
Okay.
I like it there.
2655 Broadway Avenue.
What time?
7:30.
7:30 on the
Yeah.
11th,
Yeah.
Veterans Day.
Yeah.
What day of the week is that? Do you know?
Saturday.
Oh,
man.
that's great. Come out on
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah.
How do we get tickets?
Yeah, how do we get
I got some tickets in my bag. You can call, you can go to the Mad Factory website, www.madfactory.org. You can call them. If you call them, leave a message. I'm working a little bit of a deal. If you can't get through due to technical difficulties, you can't get through, you leave a message. Or you get in touch with me, or just show up a little early, and we'll put you on a list. That way the tickets are $15, $20 at the door. If you try to get through, wink, 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 and you can't get through, wink, 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 say you tried to get through, wink, 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 and you can still get the $15 ticket,
I know
wink,
that's
wink,
right.
wink.
I know that's right.
Was I clear about that? Wink, wink, wink. And it's going to be a good show. I got Bruce Haynes coming in from Cleveland. He's a veteran comic. He was a comic when I was coming up. And a lot of cats that I bring in are cats that I have watched over the decades, And Bruce Haynes, he's coming up. He did a show for me at Black River. He's a funny brother. I got Angela Andujar. She's a new comic, and she's going to be there. And I got a few special guests that are going to pop in. But working with the Mad Factory, and they got like a ton of stuff coming up. They work with children. They got the Aristocrats coming up. And, Aristocats.
I was going to say Aristocrats.
Yeah, man.
The cats, not the
Aristocats. Descendants. That's what the Aristocrats. Descendants. They're also doing Les Mis.
Okay.
I love that.
They're gonna be doing that at the Wellington High School, Paula Linden Theater in Wellington at the high school. That's coming up in December. I should have the dates, but my phone is like way over there. So they got stuff. And being able to work with them, I first got in touch with the Math Factory back in July. You know, you guys had that guest on that was talking about the Oberlin Wellington Rescue.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The group that's developing that, I saw them do a read-through for it maybe a year and a half ago. And it was good. You know, it was still rough, and they were developing it. Then they did the production back in July. And it's the way, just to watch it evolve, it was a beautiful thing, you know. And my girl was in the play, and also the woman who runs the Oberlin Community Center, Rosa Gaston.
Mm-hmm.
Her son was in the play, Kinky Boots, with the Mad Factory, and they were looking for someone to do a small part. And Rosa asked Deborah if I would be interested. And of course, it was like post-COVID, things were slow, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. You know, I'm like, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, community theater, I'll do it. Yeah, it should be easy work, you know, because I've done a lot of theater along with comedy. Theater helped me maintain myself when comedy kind of slowed down, you know. It helped. Theater actually helped my comedy, took it to another level, you know, made it a little bit more deeper for me personally, right? But I'm thinking, you know, community theater, yeah, I'll go and jump in, do a little networking, it'll be good. Y'all, I walked in that first rehearsal with the attitude, community theater, it'll be all right. Mm-mm. I walked in that first rehearsal, I was blown away.
It gets deep.
I mean, no. Anybody tell you Mad Factory is just community theater, you slap and pop them right in the mouth.
They don't play. Right? They don't play.
I'm talking about, I did 3 appearances, okay? I had one line at the top of the show. I had another scene where I was in a wheelchair and I ain't say nothing. And I got to dance in the finale at the end, right? I'm telling you, y'all, with that one line, I mean, they made me work. It was like, no, wait a minute. I was just going to come show up, la, 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 la. Mm-mm. No, man. After that first rehearsal, I had to go in my bag and dig down to the bottom, okay? It was like, no, I was not going to, I had to bring it, you know.
And they do it with kids, too. Like, there's kids at the Mad Factory.
I mean, Kinky Boots was such a huge multi-generational production. I'm still impressed. Just looking back on it in my mind, I mean, they bring it. I mean,
yeah.
And they do musicals.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Theater in general.
They don't mess around.
Theater in general has so many moving parts.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, just in general, dialogue, actors, personalities,
lighting,
support staff, sound, all of that, setting it up, getting it right, getting everything linked in. Mm-hmm. Then you throw in a musical. That's like taking everything. It's like, say, just for the sake of conversation, theater has 11 different components, right? Mm-hmm. You throw in music, now it is 44 different components, okay? And they just bring it. They lock it in all tightened down. It is so impressive. Yeah. When they did Kinky Boots, and it was like they cross-cast. They don't stick with the stereotypical cookie cutter thing for how they present a piece, right? I mean, put it to you like this. I'm a big dude. I've lost weight, but I'm a big dude. The dude who had the lead was a bigger dude, okay? I walked in that rehearsal. This brother got to be a little bit taller than me and maybe 100, 150 pounds bigger than me, all right? This brother had on stiletto heels.
I know that's right.
And he was busting moves.
I know that's right.
I mean, it was like this brother, it's like, picture this, right? If Prince had lived and got
Jesus
fat,
Christ.
if Prince had lived and got fat, he would have been this dude in the heels dancing.
My God.
I mean, we talking about, and I ain't talking about just general dance moves. I'm talking about sharp, hard, to the point dance moves. Pow, pow, pow.
Oh my God.
It was like, no, I gotta get this one line down packed. I ain't gonna be the weakling. That play was good, but that one guy that had that one line, he was
not you.
No.
Not you.
I had that one scene, I'm in a wheelchair, and I ain't say nothing. We did 3 shows. My whole goal was to be able to drop a tear at the right time, right? I was trying. I tried. The thing was, it was theater people that knew me and was watching, right? We did the show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I dropped a tear Saturday night. I tried to drop it Friday, but didn't. But I acted like I did. all the theater people like, you tried to drop that tear, but you couldn't, but you faked it. I'm like, yeah, I did. I faked it, you know. But it was just the experience it charged me up like you wouldn't believe. Because, I mean, it was a dark, quiet time, you know. And when it hit, it's like I'm still energized. And these are the same folks who are going to let me be able to do a comedy show in a theater. Man, shut up, man. It's my segment, man. God. Man.
He talking through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
It's like, you know, it was bad. I could hear him, but I knew it was just, I could hear it. But then I started hearing him in the headphones, right? I'm like, dude, man.
He didn't put the shades.
You're doing this. All right? You need to be doing this, okay? God, man. Y'all go,
It's his turn. He ready.
No, I'm going to stick around for his segment. I got some jokes. You know, I got some jokes. I'm having a moment here with Tuck and Tuck and Morgan. You know, wait your turn, dog. Wait your turn, man. You know, right now, I'm old school. I'm pounding the pavement. But I can honestly say, at least for the rest of this year, you want to get with me and get with the show, leave a message at the Mad Factory.
So do you have like flyers on telephone poles where you can go look up?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Old school.
Oh, man, no doubt, man.
Yeah.
You walk around Oberlin, you can walk around Lorain, around the theater, and I've given flyers out to people to pass out. Yeah, I'm old school. I'll put them in people's hands.
Okay.
You know, and I'll say for this show, usually put a flyer or something, oh, yeah, okay, thank you, comedy show, whatever, you know. But lately, it's been, Lorain this close, and boom. I've gotten a lot of good feedback from flyers hand to hand. You know, I'm trying to do it old school. I want people to be able to talk about this face to face. The whole social media thing is cool. It works for a lot of people. Congratulations. I wish you well. Me, I want it to be more personal. You know, I want people to tell people about it. People can put it on the internet and say, yeah, come to the show, this, that, but I really want people to directly talk and tell people face to face, eye to eye, there's going to be a comedy show.
Okay.
I want people to be able to say the name.
It's an experience.
The comic. It's personal, you know, because for me, the whole digital thing, it's like it's evolving to remove the human element, you know. And granted, this particular show is going to be on social media, and there are people who are gravitating to it. But I still want to be able, you couldn't do this on social media if it wasn't for people talking face to face, eye to eye.
All right. We're going to wrap this up because we thought it was going to be like a 10-minute interview, and it's probably been over half an hour.
Really? Has it?
Yeah. So with that, we're going to go to our sponsors who are
Johnny's Carryout, Oberlin Weekly, Prestige Detailing, and my two in particular, no order, the Herb at Tappan Square, and Doobies Smoke Shop.
And what's our sign off?
Adios.
Adios.
This has been another bomb-ass production from Short Walk Studios.